One major deciding factor in getting a new phone is its price. Now, the Tecno Pop 10C, Infinix Smart 10 HD, Poco C71, Redmi A5, Itel City 100, and the Itel A90 are all in the same price bracket of 90 to 110,000 naira. Meaning, a decision to get one over the other won't boil down to price. It will be more about design, durability, and usability. Let's take a look at these three factors so we can better help you make that decision. When it comes to design, honestly, these phones don't scream premium, but they each have their own vibe. I always say design is subjective, and we will all have different reasons for loving one over the other. However, I'll judge the segments based on innovation and refreshment. Let me explain. The Tecno Pop 10C, Infinix Smart 10 HD, and Itel A90 all rock the same look. The iPhone wannabe camera layout, which came into play on these budget phones about 3 years ago. Now, this is a unique design to iPhones, so they can rock it till infinity, and we don't care. But on these budget devices, we would love some innovations. You know, something refreshing to the eyes. Anything at all but this. And for that, my personal opinion is that the Redmi A5, Poco C71, and Itel City 100 stands out. Some would argue that the A5 and C71 are rocking the iPhone's look, to which I say, at least they took the more recent designs, which keep them relevant. The subtle gold accent within the camera rings and around the oval bump makes the Poco C71 the most unique of the lineup, especially with the dual-tone texture design on the back, if you're into something like this. The Redmi A5 and City 100 rock the more mature looks in my opinion, especially if you get the City 100 in, say, pure titanium. Now, if you had to pick one between these three, the A90, the Pop 10C, and the Smart 10 HD, I'd say go for the Smart 10 HD. Even though they all rock the same look, it has a more modern trim to it, with subtle changes that make you feel a bit more 2025. Plus, it just doesn't look cheap. I'd say it's like the Lexus of the car world, while the Pop 10C is Toyota and the Itel A90 a Kia. No shades intended. However, my least favorite of the entire lineup in terms of design has to be the Itel A90 because it looks and feels really cheap. All of these phones are fully plastic for good reason. And for durability, the Itel City 100 leads the pack with an IP64 certification and up to 1.5 meters drop resistance, which is incredible for this price point. A close second being an IP54 certification on the Itel A90, with the rest either very low or non-existent, but nothing specified that I am aware of. So if you're clumsy or outdoorsy, the Itel City 100 would be your best bet. Now, looking at their physical properties, they all have their volume rockers and power buttons on the right, with all of them having side-mounted fingerprint sensors. The base is identical on the City 100, A90, Smart 10 HD, and Pop 10C, all having a 3.5mm headphone jack, a mic, USB-C port, and down-firing speakers, while the Redmi A5 and Poco C71 have a mic, USB-C port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the base, which is such a relief as Xiaomi has made it a habit of locating the earphone jacks on the top, something I have never been a fan of. I actually feel heard from my many complaints and it feels good. They both have a single firing speaker located on the top of the device. All six have their SIM card trays on the left side, which all take dual SIM setups with room for storage expansion. The Pop C stands alone with dual stereo speakers, having one on the base and one on the top. It also has the best sound of the lineup. I should point out that they all come with earpiece included in the box, except from the Poco C71 and Redmi A5. Also, the earpiece from the City 100 looks a disappointment, like they were forced to include one. So, to round up on this segment, all six devices come with protective cases in the box. The Infinix Smart 10 HD and Itel City 100 have hard plastic cases, while the Redmi A5, Poco C71, and Tecno Pop 10C have soft silicone cases, with my favorites being that of the Itel A90 because it is tougher and seems like it would provide a lot more protection than the rest. Don't mind this though, it is just design and has no MagSafe properties. The City 100, however, edges here, as its casing isn't just for show and does actually have MagSafe properties, which can come in handy. Itel even throws in a free mic speaker to show you it actually works. Now, this addition also means the CT100 has the best sound of them all, if you don't mind the battery drain from keeping your Bluetooth on the whole time. Speaking of battery drain, the CT100, A5, Poco C71 all come in guns blazing with a 5200 mAh battery, while the rest only have 5000 mAh. I mean, they will all conveniently last you a full day, but the extra 200 just makes the difference. Charging speeds vary. The Itel CT100 leads with 18 watts charging, A5 and C71 follows with 15 watts, and the rest mostly offer 10 watts. Let's talk displays. The first thing you notice is that the Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C both have punch hole camera cutouts, which makes them look more premium and just pleasing to the eyes, while the rest have teardrop cutouts. I know and understand these are entry-level devices, but I honestly expect better in 2025. For screen size, the largest displays are the Redmi A5 and Poco C71 with 6.88 inches, followed by the Itel CT100 with 6.75 inches, then the Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C and Itel A90 with 6.6 inches. They all rock IPS LCDs, with the Redmi A5 and Poco C71 having 720 by 1640 pixels, the Itel A90, Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C having 720 by 1612 pixels. All their displays look decent for this price point, but the Redmi A5 and Poco C71 just slightly edge out the rest. Sadly, they come in third in screen brightness with a peak 600 nits, and the brightest display going to the Itel A90 with a crazy 1500 nits, and in second place the CT100 at 700 nits, while in last place the Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C at 500 nits. All of them are bright enough for indoor use, with a slight struggle outdoors except for the Itel A90, which is great to use indoors and out. Scrolling, browsing and media consumption are pretty decent on all, but you have a smoother experience on the A5 and Poco C71 because of their 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, while the rest have 90Hz. For performance, the Redmi A5, Poco C71 and Itel CT100 have the Unisoc T7250 chipset, which is better than the Unisoc T7100 on the Itel A90 and just way better than the Unisoc T606 on the Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C. If you plan to attempt gaming or you require any of these devices for heavy use, I would strongly recommend going for either the Redmi A5, Poco C71 or the CT100. In my experience, the CT100 performed better with games, even though all three have a Mali G57 MP1 GPU. As for the rest, don't even try it. I mean, you notice lags from normal use, let alone with heavy use or gaming, and I blame the brands for putting 2GB RAMs in them in 2025. Yes, the Smart 10 HD and Pop 10C both have 2GB of RAM for the variants I have here, while the Itel A90 has 3GB of RAM. Meanwhile, on the CT100, A5 and C71, you get a base 4GB of RAM with options for 6 and 8GB. With storage, you get from 64GB up to 256GB, with only the CT100 having its base storage capacity at 128GB. For their cameras, the Redmi A5 and Poco C71 lead the pack, having a 32MP rear camera, with the rest having 13MP. Pictures are what you would expect from devices in this price category, with their best results being under very good lighting conditions. Video is 1080p at 30 frames per second across board, and the results are not great but usable. They all have an 8MP selfie camera, except for the A90, which has 5MP. Video and photos from the selfie camera are just not good. However, if this is all you can afford, you really can't complain. Every one of these phones offers great value, but your choice depends on what matters most to you. However, the Itel CT100 is the only one in this price range with an AI assistant powered by DeepSeek, which comes in handy in every walk of life. So with that, I'd crown it the winner and say it is my #1 recommendation, despite having just 90Hz. If 90Hz just doesn't cut it for you, then you can't go wrong with either the Redmi A5 or the Poco C71. Drop a comment below and tell me which phone you'd pick, or ask me what you'd like answered in my individual reviews of each coming soon. Click any of these videos for a deeper dive into the CT100 or A5. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tech reviews. Thank you for your time. Till we see you again, bye-bye.